Hi, welcome to Wrinkle Society of Hope. My name is Summer Carter and I am the founder of Wrinkles. I am so happy that you have come to share with us today. Today we are celebrating Black History Month, celebrating those women and men that have paved the pathway for African Americans to excel and succeed in life. And I am so excited to have an author come to share her stories of the wrinkles that she had to press through in life in order to become the amazing Summer that she is today. I am so happy to have her share all the things that she's been through. And I would love to have you come and share with me as well. So hit me up so we can do an interview together. But I thank you for those that continue to follow Wrinkles. And if this is your first time, welcome to Wrinkle Society of Hope. Follow us on Apple Podcasts and continue to subscribe, share, and hit that notification bell so that you can be notified of all the amazing women that are coming to share their wrinkle story. I'm so happy that you came today, and I cannot wait to hear from you. I am excited. I don't know if you can see, but there's names that are the same today. And I am excited to have my sister here, this amazing, dynamic woman, come to share with the Wrinkles family today. So I'm going to let her introduce herself to the Wrinkles family.
Good morning to my family from the Wrinkles family. My name is author Summer Grant. I am a resident of Arizona, but I am hailing from Chicago, Illinois, the Windy City. A little bit quick about me in the bud, nip it in the bud. I'm a best-selling author. I have been writing since 2004. I published my first novel back in 2004, the end of 2004 towards the fall. And I received a lot of, in the beginning, I wasn't trying to be an author. I always wanted to be a fashion designer and deal with real estate. So I already kind of knew early on what I was going to go towards. And even then, even in high school, my career trade of the high school I went to was fashion business and interior design. So I kind of already knew where I was going. So I had a little bit of hiccup as a teen. I made some decisions, and it landed me to be sentenced as an adult to prison. So during that time, I was so angry, confused. I'm a child still. I'm in my teens where I was just in high school on a cheerleading team and playing volleyball and hanging out with my friends, going to the mall and a skating rink, to now I'm sitting behind bars. No, I wasn't innocent. Yes, I had a lot to do, but I was a child. And that just shows you how our system is, So fast forward, while I was in there, because I was so young and they sentenced me to adult, a lot of the correctional officers and the guards, they, tend to me, like my vibe was always bright. I'm not an evil type of person. That's not my demeanor, period. So one of the guards was like, just to channel your energy. I know you're so angry, but you can't keep going to the hole. That's where if you get in trouble, they put you in this little room, dark, no windows, no nothing, for 30 or whatever you get your punishment when you go see the board for your conduct. So in that time, the guard was always talking to me and like telling me, giving me inspiration, motivation, telling me to get in my Bible. And it's not like I'm not a child of God. My mother, grandparents, everybody, they believed in that. So I know that it was a calling already on my life, so to speak. But it was like I was trying to be like them and everybody else. I was being the rebellious child instead of the future and the path that they were trying to build for me and create for me. I destroyed it and went on my own path. So I was not angry because I did wrong and got in trouble. I was angry that my first time getting in trouble, it was like, oh, you're a menace to society. You're never gonna become, you're a statistic. This is how they were handling me or whatever. So because I didn't tell, I didn't jeopardize other people's lives when I was the one being being the root of the problem, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? At that time, you don't see it when you're young and you're in the wave of everything and you're in the friction of everything. So once I got in prison, it was like reality set in, and I was looking at all these other women and all these other mothers and sisters and aunties that was in there, and it was just like I was just angry at the situation, everything, you know. So I started writing, and it was literally letters to myself at first. That's how it started. But you know, when you're locked up, they get you. You can go to the library, you can read, and it was like these girls that I were in a pod with. They just kept like, "Man, what's the books you be getting from the library, and what should be reading?" Major at Chicago State University. She did PR and marketing work for the radio station, a known radio station in Chicago. So I think her vision and what she wanted kind of like was blessed into me, because like I said, I've never thought that I would be an author. You know, I would be a writer. Yeah, in school I never had a problem passing or writing assignments, essays, none of that. I used to even help my auntie when she was in school, you know. So it was like, yeah, I could see where I have the gift of it, but I didn't understand what that was at that time. Like, these are your natural talent gifts. God gives, the nature creator gives everybody some type of gift. So fast forward, I just used this. They used to give us these like memo papers in the prison for you to write the warden, the nurses, the doctors, or to get classes or any of that. So I had ran out of the notebook papers, so I started writing on the prison papers, like just writing it. And then all of a sudden, it was a book. And I just started, everybody was asking me, like, what are you writing? Like, you don't come outside no more? Because now it then shifted from me doing it while I was in the hole in segregation because I got in trouble to once I got released, I was still doing this. I was going to the library. I was researching publishing. I was researching some of the authors that I love and still love to this day, like Donald Goins, Iceberg Slim, Kimberly Lawson Roby. What's my other people? I love John Grisham, James Patterson. You know, I think her name is Ella Vonchit or something. She does the number series or whatever. Like, and then my mom, her authors was Patricia Cardwell. Like, so it was like we always piggy blanked, and that was our kind of bond. We used to read books together. And when she bought me my first set of Donald Goins books, I know you probably remember Black Expressions. She had enrolled us in the Black Expression book club. So it was like I was always getting all the African American books, not knowing that my mother was setting a foundation for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy how your life comes full surface. What you think you want your life to be is not what the creator or the higher power expected and made the moves to go that way, but the creator already knew what your life was going to be. You know what I'm saying? So it was just crazy. So it was like nothing. Like, I didn't really need no help. Like, I promise you, I have so many notebooks and so many books and stories that I have written, completed, didn't complete, storyline, character development, you name it, I have it. Like, and it just was crazy to me that I was like, dang, all them years I sat in there, I created all them books. So when I came home, I just had this plan, like, oh, I'm about to just be an author. Like, I didn't know what it entailed. I just knew that Omar Tyree, Ashley and Jaquavius, and Kawan, and Shannon Holmes, and T Styles, and like all my favorites, like I just started watching them. Like, even Aaron Bebo, it's so many underground best-selling authors that people don't know, because at that time they tried to keep us secluded just like everything else. But Donald Goins, Walter Mosley, and Kimberly, they opened up them doors for us, especially Ashley and Jaquavius, J.M. Benjamin. It's a lot of them that I can go on and tell you about because I deal with them now on a personal level. Like, these are my lit sisters and brothers. You know what I'm saying? So it's just crazy because I never thought I would be here. You know, like, writing for a living is truly a gift. You can't like depend on the income because it's never gonna give that. The satisfaction of a writer come from people like you, how we met at a vendor event, and they're like, oh, I love to read, like let me check you out. And then later on you're thinking like, oh, I did that event then, but then later on they're coming back to you, hitting you up in your direct messages, or they see you or they tag you in a post and be like, oh my god, that book that I got from you, or them characters, or you is gifted, how you come up with that. Or that's the fruit and the fruition of the writer career. Like I take Dick Wolf for example. In the beginning, in the 70s or the 80s, whenever he started Law and Order and the series of Law and Order and the foundation of Law and Order, he never conceived in his mind that Law and Order was going to be this prominent even in the 20th century. Let's be for real, because when he first started it was just like, let's talk about real life issues and put in the people face what really be going on. So let's talk about it, but we're going to put it in TV form so everybody can understand and relate how this can be you, this could be me, this could be anybody. It's not a race thing. This is a reality and a life thing. You get what I'm saying? So it was like watching him, and growing up, watching my grandparents and my mother and dad watch Law and Order all the time, it was like I started paying attention when I got older and I started writing. And I'm like, dang, how does this man, year after year, episode after episode, you talking about thousands of episodes. We're talking about Dick Wolf. Let's go forward from Law and Order, Criminal Intent, Law and Order, SVU, Law and Order to where he is now. He's on Chicago PD. He's on Chicago Med. He's on Chicago Fire. He's written other shows and series, FBI, International, Major Crimes. Like, he's giving us what the realm of our society is on the judicial aspect, the civilian aspect, on what we go through as people, society, the barriers we have, the systematic box they try to put us in, stereotyping us. Like, people really don't even understand that the prisons were built off of our ancestors and the minorities. So when you think about how they created this government and everything that's entailed, if you don't educate yourself or you don't pay attention to the change and the constant shift of what society is doing, you're going to be lost. You're going to be depressed. You're going to be manic. You're going to have anxiety. You're going to do it. So that's why I try to, even though I'm a writer, I try to educate myself. I try to travel. I try to live more, because how are you really a writer if you're not living? You can be... It goes together. You get what I'm saying? Like, everybody don't want to see the same statistical story, like, oh, a broken home, a broken family, because that's not even the realm of what our life is right now in our culture. We are really changing the dynamics of what the narrative was for us. So when I think about that, and when I elevate in my writing, because I'm always educating myself, just because I might not drop a book every year or every quarter, or I'm not in their lane, I created my own lane. So I'm on some whole other things like, oh, how can I bring these real life issues that everybody is overlooking in a book because they don't want to pick up a book anymore? How can I bring that to what they like? They like visualizers, they like content, they like movies. So I'm starting to get on that page, like, let me bring my form and my creativity to that way. So it's always a forever growing process, but it takes the person. Like, if it was for the money, I would have been walked away from being an author. But it's not even about the money. Like, it's healing for me, it's therapeutic. I get clarity and balance on real life issues that I might be facing, my sister, my peers, my friends. And as a writer, it's like your brain never shuts off. Everything is material. You get what I'm saying? It's just like a comedian or rapper, you know what I'm saying? A stylist. Life gives us that creativity. So that's why I always try to live. Like, I don't care if it's a garage sale, a estate sale, a hike, a class, any of it. Like, I always accept the challenges and go for it, because if I know I'm really serious about and passionate about my purpose in writing, I know that I'm helping people, because all my written works have lessons in them. I don't care if it's urban fiction, it's erotica, it's a children's book, it's a self-help book. No matter what I'm doing, I'm not putting out no BS. I'm not just writing just for the dollar. You get what I'm saying? I know that some people find their solace in this. You know what I'm saying? They find their peace in reading a book. They find their escape, their getaway. You know what I'm saying? Their vacation. They can get out their head. So for me, I'm going to keep doing it. Then that's where you find your purpose. That's how you know you love. And even then, when I do feel like, oh, I don't want to write no more, I get tons of requests. Oh, can you help me? I have an idea for a book. Or, man, my cousin got 3-4 books already. Can you help? You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I'm not going to gatekeep. I'm going to help my people elevate and do what they want to do, because how do you think I got in? I was incarcerated when I wrote my first book. And because I reached out to certain authors that I loved and I was a fan of, and that I really watched their career when I was a child from reading their works, they didn't gatekeep me. They told me what I needed to do to get started. They gave me good tips on what to do and what's the formula to being a successful writer. Even now, like I said, I still go to them. I don't care, because now I'm their peer. I'm equal to them. No, their success and the pavement that they did and the legacy that they started for us to be African American writers, like, especially in our genre, no, I always give them their respect. I always give them their flowers. I always support them no matter what. You get what I'm saying? So I think that applies to everything in life. So
And I
with
think
me, I'm just excited for this new journey.
I
Go
think
ahead.
the thing that you had said is about those that are paved the way before you, that inspired you to do continue to fight to be an author. I mean, how many times, this being Black History Month, how many people that we have to look up to that inspired us, and the fact that you're giving back to those that are trying to even get into being an author. What advice would you give women or people in general that are going through things like you were incarcerated, but you still found your purpose? What advice would you give to people on trying to find their purpose, even in a dark moment?
Well, for me, because I just came out of another situation like that, you have to be honest and open to have that mirror, because a lot of time people want to reflect outwards instead of inwards. And a lot of the times the situations and the things that we are going through and the hardships and the struggle and the chaos, we create it. You get what I'm saying? Because for one, we might not have used our voice. We might not have listened to that spirit. We might not have paid attention to the warning signs. We may have wanted it to be our way and to do it our way instead of seeking advice or asking for direction. And then two, a lot of times people don't know that our tongue is a powerful weapon. So if I know that what I speak out in general, or what I think, my mind, what I'm portraying, I started reprogramming myself a dark or evil or angry girl or none of that growing up. I've always liked to have fun, the butterfly, want to kiki, let's go do this, I'm adventurous, I'm spontaneous, like I'm that. I'm a lover girl. I don't like to do all that. But I started finding out, like, life and the situation and people interchange and look at ourselves to heal and do the work that is needed so that we can find our purpose and move in our purpose. Like, prime example, we all, where we live at or where we're from, might see that person that's standing on the corner or panhandling or whatever. It's most times, and I'm even saying for myself sometimes, most times we always judge without even thinking or having the compassion or the empathy to think, like, damn, why would they really want to be on the street? Or what did they really go through that has them on the street begging or panhandling or asking for help? So you can never judge because, or never try to think you can understand or know what somebody went through or walked in their shoes, because you can't. So with me finding my purpose, I had to really take accountability and look at me, check me, not checking everybody else, not worried about when everybody else at no point or no time, because you know what, it starts with me. If I handle me with care, if I do for me with gratitude, with mercy, with discipline, if I handle my time like it's not to be played with, and I'm not at expense for everybody else, then guess what? Everything that I want from somebody else, I'm giving it to myself. So I'm not settling. So when those people, and then too, when your aura and your heart is right, the blessings and the shift of your life is going to be exponential. I'm telling you, it's like, I'm a regular city girl from the heart of the south side of Chicago, born and raised in some of the lowest places you could think of there. But my parents and my village, those generational curses, and they left it up to me to, with the skills, the knowledge, the gems, the teachings, the discipline, everything that I was going through, like they were teaching and setting the foundation for me. So if I don't use it, I can't blame and be mad at everybody else for how my life is going. And that's what a lot of people do. A lot of people play victim, and I do not like that. Like, take some accountability and some responsibility of how your life is, because at the end of the day, no one owes you nothing. And if it is, it's probably your parents, and whatever the situation or the dynamic of the situation is, you cannot 30 years later blame everybody else for what your parents did. You have to heal, let go, and figure out how the best way for you to deal with that and move on. But do not at no point let it fester and invade, be the best person that you want to be, because that's when you find out your purpose, when you're honest with yourself and others. So a lot of times the reason why our because we as the holders of our being are not being honest with ourselves. We're not walking in that walk that we be talking. You get what I'm saying? But we want everybody else, and we expect everybody else to deal with us and handle us in that manner, and that's not fair. It's not okay. It's not responsible, and it's not healthy. So what do? Do you keep living like this, or you keep blaming or keep acting like it's you, it's everybody else, and it's not you? No, I'm not doing it, and I don't deal with people that do that. I don't, even with my children. Like, I raised boys. Like, so for me, when I first had my first son, I was like, dang, God, you really like are testing me, because you know that I was in these streets and you would let me have a boy. But it was like, no, you know how some people say, oh, a child slow you down, or having a child would make you change your thought process. It really did for me, because it was like, dang, I was so young and they threw me away to the wolves. Like, I don't want that for my sons. And I have 3 strikes against me already for having an African-American boy. We live in the one of the worst cities at this time back then in America. And then number 3, they already got a bed for him and a number for him in their penal system. So I've always been ahead of my age and my time. I had my first child at 18. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, because I was moving fast and in the streets and the stuff that I was doing. So I was like, oh no, some I gotta right now start reorganizing and reevaluating my life and what I'm doing, because I refuse to set my son up. He didn't ask to be here. I was doing what I was doing, so I have to give him something better. And I thank God that I really paid attention to them late night conversations me and my parents used to have, and the talks with my village, my OGs. I call them my OGs, like the people when I was growing up, the neighbors that used to be talking to me, and the guys from the corner stores and my local clothing store, my teachers, my cheerleading coach. Like, I thank God for those people, my pastor, you know what I'm saying? My first lady, my godparents. Like, I thank God, even my stepdad, like that's like, I thank God for the people that were placed in my life because they were strong vessels and they were people that I can really learn and take from. So that little short time that I had in the streets, or I thought that that was the lifestyle that I wanted to leave, I just felt like that was a chapters that I needed to go to be the woman I am today. So I would tell anybody, like, if you can't be real with yourself, or you can't have that self-reflection and be the person that you want from everybody else, then yeah, you're always going to struggle. Your life is always going to be like, damn, why me? Like,
In your purpose and you've been through all this, let's say you got a t-shirt made and that t-shirt represents the woman that you are today, what would that t-shirt say?
when I seen that question, I was like, dang, like it's so many things that of components that I think of when it comes to that. But I would say the most one that came to my mind, and I wrote two, but it was resilient.
Definitely.
Like, and the other one was perseverance. Because like, I don't know, it's like I just refuse to give up and leave this world knowing that I gave all the energy, the excitement, the and all that to the negativity of an era where I was learning who I was, and I thought that this lifestyle or whatever was what I wanted. That when it came time to really show up and show out about me, that I failed. It's like, oh no, the gig is up. Like, what we doing? You get what I'm saying? Like how the young folks say, like, what is we doing? Is you cool? You know what I'm saying? Like, is you cool? What you talking about? Like, what is it? What's up? Like, let me know something. Because if that's the case, if we gonna do that, we might as well go and crash out. We ain't gotta wait, and we ain't gotta play no more. We ain't gotta do none of that. It's either you gonna do it or you not. Like my dad used to say, you either gonna go big or you gonna sit your ass down at home. Like, what you gonna do? You get what I'm saying? So it's like every day I get up with that type of attitude. Like, what we doing? Okay, it's a new day. What we doing? You get what I'm saying? So I get up and I attack my goals. I don't care if it's small, minor, personal goals or my business goals. Every day I get up with that type of energy, and guess what? It's showing me what my purpose is. My time is not being wasted. I'm accountable. I'm more my my attention span and focus is even different. You get what I'm saying? Like, so that would be like my whole shirt. Like, I would make statement shirts and wear shirts that bold statements: resilient, perseverance, ambitious, diligent, intentional. Now that's my statement for this year. If you pay attention to my notes or any of my social medias since 24, like in June, I have been saying that, and in 2025 it really showed up on my doorstep, like what God was or the creator was preparing me for then in that shift. And it was be intentional. So every day that I wake up, I am being intentional. And if you, whoever you are, business partners, kids, spouses, I don't care. Be intentional with me, because I'm going to be intentional with you. So, and if we can't do that, then I don't want no parts of it. That doesn't mean I don't love you. That doesn't mean I don't want the best for you. That doesn't mean that I don't care or I don't want to see you succeed or whatever. It's just in this space and in this time and in this moment, the shift that I am in, everything has to be with intent and purposefully. I don't have no more time to waste. I did that in my 20s, 30s. Like, I am 40. What are we doing? Like I said, back to my statement: is you cool? What is we doing? Like, you get what I'm saying? And that goes for everything. I don't want to be reciprocating and filling nobody else's glass, planting, sowing in their flowers, and they're not doing the same thing. So
With your
that's just where I'm at.
right, because you've been intentional and you know already I love your books as an author. So can you share some of your books, how
Yeah.
you buy these books? Listen, I promote because I love Summer as an author. So share your books with us.
Yes, you do. That's why I said I had to come on here. Like you did, you do. You always rock with me. You always share my stuff. Any events we do, either you're there or you're vending with me, you always support, and I love you for that so much. I haven't wrote in the last 2-3 years. I've been going through, like I said, a major transition with myself and everything. I just felt like if I was gonna write, it had to be with some substance, some real stuff. So I had took a moment and a step back from the publishing world just to see where I was at, what I was going to do, reevaluate, rebrand everything, because like I say, my life drastically took a change. So I did release a book last year. It's called Toxic. I just finished the ebook setup. Well, it's published. The ebook is published, but I just did all my stuff for the format for the paperback. So the paperbacks are available now. I'm working on all my audiobooks because a lot of people have been asking me for years about audio. So I finally took the classes and learned how to do the audios. You get what I'm saying? Because I am self-published. I have a deal, but I'm a CMO of the company. So it's almost like I'm still my own boss. So I take real ownership of and my job real serious of the other authors. So I might give the authors more of me for them versus me. I'm almost 60 books in. So it's like I've done this, you know what I'm saying? So it's like all the new authors and the people that are really doing it, that's where my energy and my time has been going. But when I released Toxic last year, I did say like I'm going to release, but I'm only going to probably release twice a year because I do want to get into the movies and some other stuff. So that's where I'm at. But I do have a couple of my series right here. And this series is called Stealing a Hitter's Heart. It is under urban fiction, romance, street lit, and it's about sisters that lose their parents very early on, and it just shows you like how we don't know what's really going to happen or what's the footprints of our life, but when life hands us certain cards or we're dealt certain things, it's really imperative to have the foundation of gems and know what morals are and know what balance and values and principles are, so that you can have the tools of life to sustain these things, because no one's life perfect. And as much as people swear that it is or they can be perfect, you can't. The creator and the universe did not make us perfect. It made us imperfectly perfect. So when I say that, I mean that everybody has a good and a bad side to them. So you have to choose. And if you choose the bad side, you have to be okay with how your hand is dealt. Just like if you are rewarded with blessings and you're in a position where you can change other people's lives, or you're in a position where you're financially and wealthily endowed, or you're in a position where you are the torchbearer, where you can keep the legacy going in a generation. You have to take those leadership roles serious. That's your purpose, and you have to have an empathetic heart, because it's going to be times for everybody, including yourself, where you're not going to understand the realm of life and what is going on. But if you do have those principles, those values that I spoke of, those morals, you have a higher power or something, you meditate, whatever it is that you spiritually are inclined to, you're going to make it. But the main thing is you always have to self-check yourself. You always have to be checking in, and I call them pull-ups. You always have to check in and pull up with yourself. Like, damn, am I being my best? Like, what could I be doing better in this next season or this next quarter, or purposely living? And when I mean purposely living, it means like showing up for yourself, doing whatever you need to do so that you can feel better about yourself, no matter what it is, even if it's counseling, even if it's writing your journal, even if it's taking walks, even if it's eating better, even if it's working on your skin, even if it's being a better parent, or whatever it is that you feel like that you need to do to feel better about your purpose, then that's what you need to do, because you cannot keep on displaying and putting out your toxicity, because all you're doing is making it generate into the world. Because just think about it, it's just like a cub. When a mother kangaroo has her cub, or a lion has her, they're protective. They teach them, they instill in them the values, the principles, and all of that. And when it's time for them to grow and elevate and be who they need to be, they have to step back and let them go. So that's the same thing for us. Some of us have been dealt shitty hands. We wasn't given the tools we need. So that's why you can't blame nobody else. It's books. It's actually self-help things to help you navigate and do. That's why I write. So, and I write from a place where, let me put some scandal in it. Let me put some smut in it. Let me put some betrayal, some lies, and all the stuff that real life happens in real life situations. Yeah, the character names might be different or similar or same. Yeah, it might be in a fictional term far as the general, but no, you can relate to what I'm writing. You can see or have heard or know something similar of a situation that I have written. So I call it reality fiction, factual fiction. I write from a real, raw, authentic place. So all my books are available through me. You can contact me personally on my DM, or you can go on my Amazon website link, which is amazon.com/author/Summer Grant, and all my links for all my books and titles listed will come up. I do autograph boxes, like book boxes, where you get itemized, hand-picked items with your books, your autograph books. So I sign all my books, my paperbacks, and I do sometimes t-shirt, mugs, keychains, whatever. I kind of feel my fan base out, so I make it personal for them. I do book boxes subscriptions too as well, where you could get two books every month in your box of all my titles for $50 a month. I have a lot of ways you could get my stuff. So, tap in. I'm on all social medias, Author Summer Grant or Summer Grant. And then on Instagram, it's The Book Snob, DABOOKSNOB. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, I'm around. Like, you can inbox me or whatever if you've ever read any of my books, or you feel like I should keep writing, or you want to see more of my writing or whatever. Just let me know. Send me a message. I'm a girl's girl. I love everybody. I don't participate in all the extras. So even if you needed some help, or you needed a consultation, or you wanted to know how to get your work out there or how to publish, I do workshops. I do one-on-one author bootcamp programs. So just come to me. Like, everybody's not gatekeeping. Everybody doesn't have this chip on their shoulder. Everybody's not looking for something in return. Like I said, my purpose, I'm blessed already. So, it is what it is. Like, yeah.
Summer, thank you so much for coming to Wrinkles today.
No problem. I would love it. You can always invite me back. I'm here for it.
Yes, I will definitely be inviting you back. And as you see all those links coming across, and Summer will also be on wrinklesocietyofhope.org, which will get a direct link to her author page. So you can purchase those books directly. And of course, I'm about to go purchase my book today because I don't have Toxic yet. So I'm about to go purchase that one. And I am so happy that.
And let me know what you think, because it's not your typical. That's what I said. Like, I really thought about that, because it was like a thing at last year. Everybody was talking about toxic, and the artist was making songs, and everybody was talking about being toxic. So when I wrote that book from human standpoint, where how the adaptions of life and scenarios can make anybody snap, can make anybody click, like it can make anybody become file.
I'm excited.
Vindictive. You know what I'm saying? ignorant. So let me know what you think, and please tell me. I'm excited, so I can't wait till you tell me, because I released it and I kind of like just did a release. I didn't tell nobody. I really didn't promote it. So now that it's been out, I'm promoting it. I'm pushing it now because I'm like, okay, do I want to really push this stuff and then start back touring and doing my book events and vending? But I do. I miss it. I mean, like I said, it's my purpose. Like I really miss it. So I'm getting myself together to get back out there. So this year I'm gonna put out 3 more books. So I have 3 projects that I'm working on right now, and I'm looking to start filming in Arizona by the midsummer.
Let's go,
So.
Summer. Do it all. And anything you're doing,
So
you
pray for me. I'm gonna be calling you like, can you come help me direct? Can you come? Can you come help me do some fill-ins? I need your help.
I got you, Summer. And definitely I love your name. So, dynamic duo, we here.
Yeah.
I am so excited. I can't wait to see what comes. I'll be following you, okay? Bye, Rico.